Well, hello people of YouTube, 'tis I once more, the Crimson Assassin, back again to do yet another anime review. And today, we're going to be looking at an anime done by Key, the man that made animes like Angel Beats, Air, and Clannad. Yeah, remember those animes? The ones that made you tear your eyes out? The man who basically made me cry myself to sleep after watching Clannad? You know what? I'll even admit it. Yes, I cried myself to sleep after watching Clannad. So sad, dude. So sad. So, we're gonna be taking a look at an anime made by him called Charlotte. Okay, how much I've missed you. So anyway, Charlotte basically follows the main character Yu Otosaka. And his ability to basically go into other people's bodies. He abuses this power to take over people's bodies. When unfortunately Karma came and bit him right in the ass when he meets a girl named Nao Tomori. And since then, Tomori basically forces you to transfer from this nice elite school to yet another nice elite school that just so happens have people who has the same abilities as him. So it's from then on that it's Yu's ultimate priority to join the student council president and find other people who have those similar abilities like Yu does too. And then Charlotte's story begins. Now, I've heard a lot about Charlotte over the past couple weeks. I'm hearing that it's a great return from Key. People I heard he done a pretty amazing job with it. It's fairly average, and to some people say. And I was, I set my expectations quite minimum because usually Key animes, sometimes it's like a hit or miss. Because to be honest, Air was also kind of a hit or miss for me. But I did overall in all enjoy Air. So Charlotte, I was kind of, setting the bar to a standard when it came to Charlotte. So after watching Charlotte from start to finish and finishing it just now, all I have to say is that this anime is fairly enjoyable and is definitely what like people says, and it's a fairly average anime. Although there are a plethora of problems with it. So much of a problem that I filled a whole page with it. I'm not even kidding you. My book is right there in front of me, so let's start this song, bitch. So, where do I begin? First off, the animation done by PA Works for Charlotte is fucking gorgeous. PA Works also did the animation for Angel Beats and Another, and also True Tears. So, the animation done by PA Works is quite astounding, from the breathtaking visual, to the horizon, to the sunset, to the stars above, to the forest, to the city, to the desert. Yes, even a desert. This animation is done very well. Very well. PA Works, good job. The first half of the anime is also kind of set the standards for what the anime was going to be like, and we'll get into that in a little later. But for the first half of the anime is done very well, introducing the characters and also introducing a story and premise. And speaking of the stories, let's talk about the story. But I won't really go deep into the story, but let's just say that the story of Charlotte is very unique in such way, adding such a supernatural element. One of Key's staples is that he knows how to make a great character-driven story. Yes, with a little supernatural element present. Angel Beats has a supernatural element in it, but it was more of a character-driven story. That is what Key does. That he knows that he needs to make an anime about characters instead of about it just being about the story. There's a huge difference when it comes to character-driven stories and story-driven stories, if that shit makes sense. But for Charlotte, it's definitely a great character-driven story. And let's talk about the characters for a moment. Let's talk about the main character, who is nothing really but a generic main character. In fact, he is an asshole in the beginning of this anime. Yes, he is. No spoilers, though, because this is a spoiler-free review. So, yeah, we'll just say that in the beginning of Charlotte, Yu is a complete douchebag. I mean, like, damn, this guy is an asshole. But that's enough said about it. But as the anime progresses, you actually have a huge attachment to Yu, and you know, and you also have a sentimental feeling towards him. He really is nothing but a plain generic main character. Because he's not really a plain generic main character, he's just the main character. Which, you know, I think someone should learn a lesson from this. Let's stop having those plain nice guys and actually have some kind of douchebag involved. Yippee. What about the other characters? Well, the other characters, like Now, are all stand out and they all serve the purpose. I really love Now in the anime. She is just so much fun to watch. And yes, him, her, Now, and Yu are the main couple of the anime. And yes, they have one of the most strongest bonds throughout the anime. You have a sense of camaraderie between them, chemistry, banter, and I really like that. Excuse me. So, in the anime, you really have a certain camaraderie when it comes to Yu and Tomori, or Now. She really is a standout main character, and I loved what she did. She has a more serious side, but sometimes throughout the anime, she has a bit of a quirky side. And that's what I really liked about Now. So props to that. One of the other comic relief characters I really enjoyed was, I forgot his name, but his ability to basically teleport to one moment to another is fucking hysterical. He is one of the best comic relief characters in an anime since Sunohara from Clannad. He is probably one of the most funnier ones. And I'm not going into full detail about that. He's just an overall fun main character. And since I forgot his name, I'll probably put his name somewhere on a thing, on a caption. Yeah, there you go. So, and what I'll have to say, the drama. The drama of the anime is what is a big staple when it comes to Key's animes. His drama in Charlotte is no exception. The drama in the anime is done very well. You have a sense of feeling towards the character, and you also have a sense of, damn, you know, you really feel sorry for this guy. Or when it's a happy moment, you really feel happy for these characters. And yes, I really did love Charlotte's drama. And plus the comedy is pretty funny as well. You know, like I mentioned before, the moments where this character travels through one point to another is pretty fucking funny because he always gets injured along the way. That's all I need to be said. He's just an overall fun main character. And the drama is also well done, and the comedy is pretty funny. So like I mentioned before, yes, this anime is pretty decent, but that doesn't excuse from its cons. And what are its cons about the anime? Well, I only really have one issue when it comes to its characters, and that is Yusa. She does nothing throughout the anime. No matter how much character development she gets, she is so complete, bland, and by the numbers. She just does nothing throughout the anime, and thus I could really give 1,000 fucks about her. And seriously, I really just could not care about Yusa. She's just bland. Enough said. Cop-outs. That's the thing I hate about some animes, especially Key animes, that they always find some kind of way to do a cop-out, a forced happy ending. And not to say that the ending is not satisfying. No, the ending is pretty satisfying, but there are a couple of cop-outs that Key does in Charlotte that kind of irritated me. Like, I'm not going to go to any details, but let's just note that there are a couple cop-outs. The second half of the anime. Now, this is where the story of Charlotte deteriorates. It takes the fucking scenic route. The second half of the anime was all over the fucking place. I'm not going to go into full detail about the second half of the anime because of spoiler reasons, but let's just say the second half of the anime is all over the fucking place to, you know, unneeded flashbacks to other weird shit. I'm not gonna go into fucking detail about the second half of the anime. It's just all over the place. But what I did like about, I would say that one of the credits I will give the second half of the anime was that the drama was still consistent. And yes, I still do like the drama, even in the second half of the anime. In fact, the second half of the anime is when the drama kicks it up a notch. So ergo, I could not, I could forgive the drama, I just could not forgive what kind of direction that they were going with the second half of the anime. That's just enough said. Also, there were a bunch of crucial story elements in the anime. Not really crucial story elements, but just story elements in general that weren't really fully explored. In fact, I can actually spoil this because they explained this in like the second or third episode of the anime, is that they introduce like these scientist-looking guys that supposedly experiment on people who have like these special abilities, like what you now and the other characters in Charlotte has. But yet they were never really addressed again, and you never hear from them again. It's like, you never really feel like they were in danger of these scientists to begin with. There's nothing there. So, Also, another thing I can address about this anime, it's kind of sort of a spoily thing, it's that there is this one moment in the anime where you see Tomori getting basically beat up by a bunch of bullies. Yet you think that they're going to, elaborate and explore on that whole character arc, but they don't. They just shrug it off to the side. Yeah, going back to what I said about story elements being addressed, that could have really added towards crucial character development towards now. Yeah, even though, you do have a lot of character development from now and you but couldn't that really it could have really strengthened their bond together. And if they were to just not really focus on the characters that actually had, or those one episode appearance characters that actually had abilities, they could have actually take one of those off and addressed that issue. It was addressed, but yet not fully explored, ergo, why should I care? Also, the ending. The last episode in general, I say that the last episode of the anime, like what Shadow ACS said before I started this review, is that the ending is completely rushed. And it's going back to what I said about it being a cop-out. The ending of the anime is just, all rushed. You think that the anime is going to end off on a satisfying note, which it does, but how it ends is just forced and rushed, and you just did not care about what happened during the time. I'm not going to spoil the anime, but let's just say that the last episode could have been an entire season. I am not kidding you. The ending of the anime could have been an entire season, or the last episode. It could have been an entire season. It could have been, because, not gonna spoil. Because there really is no way to describe Charlotte without giving any type of a spoiler. So, what I might do is that I might actually do a second review for this anime talking about its spoilers. So, all in all, guys, what do I really have to say about Charlotte? I think Charlotte is a fairly decent, slightly above average anime. If you love drama, and if you love a good character story, and a plethora of character development and drama and shit, this anime will be your cup of tea. But if you don't like drama, you don't like things, and you don't like seeing a complete crap of the second half of the anime, you are not going to like Charlotte. All in all, guys, Charlotte is a good anime, but that has a plethora of issues, and that is why I'm going to give Charlotte a 6 out of 10. It is a slightly above average anime. Would I recommend this anime over Clannad, Angel Beats, or Air? I would recommend this over Air because Charlotte actually had a good second half, like a really good story pacing, because the ending and the whole second half actually made sense. Air just did not. So I wouldn't recommend this anime over Air, but I wouldn't recommend it over Angel Beats or Clannad. So, that being said, this anime is fairly slightly above average, and yeah, I should recommend you give this anime a shot. For other anime recommendations, I do point you towards Anohana, which is another drama anime, but with better character development and a better story, in my opinion. And of course, Clannad, or just any other key animes out there. Other than that, guys, that wraps up this review. Until next time, people, if you want to see more of my videos, please consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, this is the Crimson Assassin, and I am signing out. Peace, YouTube.